Hello, hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? It's Friday. It's time for Paper Pumpkin Alternatives. So let's see if we can get this going. Hi, Faye. How you doing? Nice to see you. Well, I absolutely love this paper. First of all, love the box. What a pretty box it is that this paper pumpkin came in. Almost all my favorite colors. So wow, it's definitely something I would love to keep. Put some fun things in it. So this actual paper pumpkin was so much fun to work with. Oh my word. I had a great time. Hi Barbara, how you doing? Good to see you. This, let me get this box open here so we can kind of start taking a look at things. So this is, oopsie, try to keep the glare off. Sorry, I had to turn my lights on today because it's, cloudy. It's kind of raining. Yeah, I'm doing great, Barbara. I hope you're doing good. Hi, Denise. Good to see you. Well, this paper pumpkin is a lot of fun. Look at these great cards that you can make with this in the kit. But, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to show you how to do some different cards and using the same supplies. So we have that. We have, these are your card bases. You have this card base, which is Bumblebee. You have this one, which I've kind of torn things apart a little bit. So I'm kind of piecing it together for you. This actually comes with the fresh freesia on the back, but I actually took a piece of it off so I could make another card with it. I got to use all of your different pieces here. Then we have this note card. This is Evening Evergreen, and that's a pretty color. And it all comes with your envelopes. You've got your labels here that you can do your sentiments on, and you've got this one, and then there's another small one in here that's got like a little flag that you can put a small sentiment on that. You've got some vellum here that was printed, and this is really pretty. The other, one thing I'll show you, but you can actually color on these too, which is kind of fun, and I've got some examples for you on that. You're going to get 3 of those, and you're going to get this. If I can get this out of here, you're going to get this one, and actually I colored it. It's actually plain, but I used my blends on the back side of this and actually colored that. So look at how pretty that is. That's with Wisteria Wonder, and let me think. It was our pink color, Magenta Madness. I used Daffodil Delight and Evening Evergreen on that. Isn't that pretty? I actually prefer that it had some color on it than just being plain. For some reason, I didn't like it the other way. You're going to get your blue dots, and you're going to get some little bit of bling here, which is kind of fun. Of course, you're going to get your dimensionals. You're going to get some Evening Evergreen twine that you can use for an embellishment. And then you are actually going to get this wonderful stamp set here. Let me see if I can show that to you. See if you can see that. You've got your amazing. You've got this, which I'm going to show you how to use. Kind of gives you that ink blotch look. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks for everything. This is a cute little stamp. You've got a couple little stamps here, sending hugs, congratulations, and a mini. So you could do, I did many thanks, and then I've kind of used it all over. So I did a little bit of everything there. So, and like I said, you're going to get your regular size envelopes, and you're going to get your smaller envelopes too for your note cards. And then this is how your items come. They're already done. So you have to just do is take them out. And then these are your vellum pieces. See, this is what I mean. This is the white one that you get. And then you get a thanks in here. And then this is what this came in. And then it comes in different languages also. So those are your items. So let me get this out. So I have all my tools here of things that I need. So did all of you get your paper pumpkin this month? Be curious to see if anybody got this one. This one was really pretty. Definitely worth the money. I had, like I said, lots and lots of fun with this one. So let's get this going. Put this back, and I don't need this. I'm going to need the ink spots. We got 2 ink spots on this one this time. Bumblebee and Evening Evergreen. Absolutely. Boy, I use both of those. They're definitely come in handy. I love this Evening Evergreen. It's like my new dark color. I used to use Early Espresso a lot. Now I'm using Evening Evergreen. So what can I say? All right, so I'll get you some. I did lots of samples, not as many as Elaine does, but I think I did pretty good because I actually had to do quite a few new techniques on this one. So this one, all I did was stamp, and I just used our stamp here, and I stamped it on, and I did it a little stamp off, and then I did it in full. I added our little sequins. You're amazing. I put this little on the background. I thought that was really good. Hey, Elaine, nice that you could join us. So she says, hello, everyone. I totally love this one. It did not come before we left. So, yeah, she didn't get a chance to play with it. Faye got her paper pumpkin today. Barbara got hers. So we're in good shape. So I did this one. And then on the inside, I had sending hugs, and I did a little flowers in there. You know me, I got to have something on the inside. Don't like those naked cards. And then I did this one. And this one, I did the thanks, and I put a little bit of Wink of Stella on it, and I actually did some shading behind it with Evening Evergreen. I used my brushes because I didn't want it to be white. And then I used our little pop-outs here. I thought those were cute. And then I stamped this and then embossed it with clear embossing powder. So that way, I don't know if you can see how it's got a little shine to it. I thought that really worked. On the inside, I said, so I've got a thanks out here for everything. And then I used those little flowers that we got. And then I did a little stamp on the inside also. So I really think you could do some clear embossing on that. And I did the technique that Elaine showed us all to do. So all you do is you stamp on your Versamark, and then you stamp with your ink, or you can do either or. I've done both ways. And then you just put your clear embossing powder on it and get your heat gun and heat it up, and there it is. And I think it really just makes it pop more when you do that. And I didn't show you on this other card that I did an envelope to go with it. Of course, you know me. Can't now have a naked envelope either. So I just did a little bit of stamping on the front and stamping on the back. So it has something to go with it. And then on this one is our fresh freesia. Remember I told you the back side of that card comes with fresh freesia? So I actually cut it. So I had the front of it to use for another card with that actually gorgeous colors to it. And I used that as my background. And I did this one, I did our brushes. Or actually, okay, I fibbed. I did our ink spots, or I'm sorry, our daubers. And I daubed it because my brushes weren't going to get me the coverage because it had a little bit more detail to do. So I just got my daubers out and then daubed it. Now that the key on this one, though, when you're really trying to get that color on it, you need to make sure it dries before you put it on the card. So I had to let it sit for a couple of minutes and then make sure it was dry before I put it actually on the card, or you're going to have ink all over your other side of your card. And then I used our little pieces that you get here, and I did our thanks, and I put a few sequins on there. So I thought that turned out really cute. And of course, on the inside, I did for everything, and then I just did a little bit of everything on that corner. I used it all, all those little stamps that you get. And then on this one, I did the fresh freesia, and then I did the Evening Evergreen, and this is the Bumblebee, and I used those little stamps. Isn't that cute? I think it just adds something when you're trying to send the card and they see a little bit of something on the outside of your card when you send it. Now, this one is our note cards. And I thought, well, it's a note card. I'm going to make it more elegant. So on this one, I decided to use our gold embossing powder. And I used our gold embossing powder on the congratulations. And then on the inside, I left it blank because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But then I actually did the embossing on the envelope. So everything is embossed on this one. I just went to town. Got that heat gun going, and I just went just looked like crazy. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? So that is what that one is, and then you get 3 of these too. So you can make some really cute thank you cards, or you can make a congratulations card, whatever you want. But I wanted to make it a little bit more elegant. Now on this one, I used the back again, and this is our fresh freesia, and I did thanks. And on this one, I did a shadow, and I used our Highland Heather behind it. And I really think, besides doing inking behind it, I really think that Highland Heather made it pop. And I like that I just put a little bit of shadow behind it. I used our vellum, and I think that color coming through, I didn't do anything on it. I just put the vellum on the color, and I thought that really was pretty. And then I used just one of our little cutouts, and then I used our rope out of our main catalog. I wanted something gold. And then, of course, I used our sequins. But I think that made a very pretty card. I like how it just has a little bit of glimmer to it. And then I put, so I had thanks for everything. You are amazing. And then I put a little of that little stamp there. And then I just made a little leaves out of it too. So all sorts of things you can do with this. And I did it a different orientation. Instead of up and down like we normally do, I decided to do it side by side like this. But this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So that's just another thing. I just did it on white cardstock too. So our basic white. And on this one, this is how I did the envelope. So I kind of copied what I did on the inside, and I put that on the back side of the envelope. And then I did it on the front too. I thought that was pretty. Very simple, but I think very pretty, very elegant. Yeah, I love that note card with the gold embossing too. That was a lot of fun. And then I got a little crazy on this one. I decided I wanted to try to mimic our other paper that we had that gold in there. So all I did was take my Versamark, and I just took the pad, and then I just kind of dabbed it where I wanted it. And then I used our heat and stick powder, and I heated that up. And then, of course, I took my fun. Look at this. Isn't this just too much fun when you can take that gold leafing, and once that heat and that powder is all sticky that you've heated up with your, that just stuck to that. When you heat it up with your heat gun, and then you put that down, and then you just rub it in, and then that's what it turned out to look like. I just love this card. I think it is such pretty colors. And then I just did the thanks, and then I just did the coloring behind it with my blending brushes. So I thought that was a lot of fun on that one. I just love how that turned out. And then I had an idea. Now, I know Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this, but there's such a thing as a Versamark pen. And I know that Elaine probably can put this in her Amazon store. But this was a great way to get a small amount of Versamark on your card. And this is what I did. So I kind of did my own veining. And you just do it with this Versamark pen. And all it is just a version of this, but it's in a pen form. And it really does give you that same, that look that you want then when you want a thinner line. So all I did was just kind of outline the area, and I used the heat and stick powder, and I did our gilding again, and whoa, isn't that just pretty? I put You Are Amazing on there, and on the inside, I did the little bit of the same thing, and I used our stamp to give you that kind of look. I don't know if you can see that. And then I did our veining on the inside too, because I wanted it to mimic this. And then I put Sending Hugs. So what do you think so far? Hey, Dolly. Oh, you're never late. You're coming in on your own time. So anyway, these cards have been so much fun to make. And I have one more other card, but I thought instead of just showing it to you, I thought I'd make it, you know? Can't just show you cards and then just be done with everything and be like, okay, see you later. No, we got to make something. It's Friday. All right. So, I got my handy dandy piercing pad here. And that's our IE stamping pad. Got some paper. little just copy paper. Like you know me, I always have to have my testing area. I'm going to do the background or the card base in Gorgeous Grape. And this, remember the back side of that other card that I was telling you about? This is Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to use that as my layer. And I am going to make my cards. So let's get this going. I actually am going to use this stamp because, you know, I thought of anything that we got, this one might be a little intimidating in order to use that. So I thought, well, we're going to use this one so I can kind of show you how we can have some fun. All right, so I'm going to get my stamp block. And the two colors I'm going to use are Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. See, it's Friday. I get to do this, so I get to choose my colors. Ha ha. There you go, Lane. I get to choose my own colors. Yeah, this kit was a lot of fun. Hi, Susan. How you doing? Can't stay, but yeah, watch us in replay. It will be here. All right, so on this stamp, this kind of gives you the look that you were looking for that you see on our cards. Kind of gets you that ink blot look. This is kind of what this is supposed to mimic. So kind of give you an idea of what that's going to look like. See, it kind of has that blotted look. See if I can get that a little bit closer for you. I think that it's really pretty. So on this one, I decided that I was going to use these two colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And it's just a random look. Just kind of go back and forth on your colors if you want. So this way I was kind of mixing it up a little bit. See how you're kind of doing it? And I just do it every which way. I think it's good to kind of move it around because, you know, that's what ink does. All right. I don't want to try to mix my inks a little bit, but see, you just kind of do it random. Just kind of go back and forth what you want. Just kind of fill it in. These colors are so light that it really, by the time you're stamping up, it's so light anyway. But this way, this is you're kind of filling it in. And do a little bit here. Now, the other thing that I did when I was playing around with this, and you've seen me do it before, I love using my fingers to wipe off some of the ink, but I decided I wanted to try to fill in some of these areas. So all I would do is just use part of the stamp. And it doesn't matter if it overlaps because, you know, it kind of gives you that look anyway. But I thought it was a great way to fill in some of these areas that maybe I didn't get. Anything that you want to fill in, I think, is a great way to do that. And then that way you're not having so much empty space. I wanted to kind of fill it up some. So that to me is a way. And I always use, that's just the way it is. I always use my hands as a tool to do cleaning. It's not always just wiping it off. You know, it's going to get on my hands anyway. So that's the way I kind of see it. So I kind of gauge of where I want to put it and I just stamp it. And sometimes you can even stamp off a little bit and it'll still give you that tone on tone that you're looking for. Just kind of fill it in a little bit because, again, it's just a background. We're going to put something on the top of this anyway. So I didn't want, there, I think we've got just about all of it. And then if you want to do a little bit more, you can always do a light on that too. See how that kind of fills that in? Just, you even can do a little bit of light and it'll just fill it in just a little bit, which is kind of fun. All right, I think that'll just about do it. I want to do one little spot over here, and we are good to go. Oh, yeah, you know me. I get to play with ink. Yeah, Elaine on vacation. She's having a great time. I tell you. All right. So see what I mean? Isn't that pretty with those colors? And I'm going to put, I kept a few of our other pieces out. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead. Since I already have my inks out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do our thanks. I'm going to put a thanks on here. So I'm going to take my thing. I'm going to go ahead and get my thanks out and go ahead and do that. So that way I can close up. Well, I'll probably have to do one more thing. I'm going to do my envelope too, because you know me. I don't want to do something. I want no naked envelopes. So I think I'm going to do my thanks in the fresh freesia. And I'm going to move this a little closer so I don't get my head in there. And then, well, I had a little something on there. I don't know where that came from. All right. And then I'm going to use, we have this little bitty mini in here. So I'm going to have mini thanks. So now I'm going to use my ink spot for that. And this Evening Evergreen, I tell you, is great. Now I'm going to give you a little tip on this one too. When you're using your, I'm going to do a little test on that, make sure I got that inked right. I'm going to show you a little tip on, before I close everything up, on how to use those ink spots. Okay, so we're going to do many thanks for the outside. Now on the envelope, I want to go ahead and mimic what I just did on the card. So I'm going to get this back out, put my thanks away, and I'm going to do the same thing on this, and I'm going to go ahead and do some random stamping. And I'm going to fill that in. Whew, so much fun to do this. I just love this. Now, when you get to the edges, just remember to fold it. And then you can fill it in. And I just love going back and forth and doing this. It's so much fun. Right up my alley. Right, Elaine? I love doing this kind of stamping. And look how pretty that is. Just gets that ink blot spot. I just love that. I just think it's so pretty. All right, and then I think even on the front, I'm just going to do a little blob here. Well, make sure I get a little wild on that stamping sometimes. I'm going to do a little bit of something in there. There, that way. It's got a little something on the front. I think that really looks cute. All right, so the envelope's done. We've got that done. Now, I think one other thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp for my inside. I'm going to go ahead and do, so I had many thanks, and we have a stamp that says for everything. So there's our for everything. And I'm going to go ahead and do that one in our Evening Evergreen too. Doing my little test. All right, so now see, what I was going to tell you about our ink spots is, you know, they're inked pretty well. So one thing you don't want to do, let me show you, is you don't want to press really hard on this, because look what happens. And then that's what it's going to look like. It's going to almost look blurry. So the one thing on our ink spots you want to do is you want to make sure you're just tapping it evenly all the way through. Just lightly tap it. And then it'll be pretty good as far as being inked. And you don't have to press really hard because there's plenty of ink on there. And then I'm going to take my little, I don't know what you would call that, little dots. And I'm going to put those on each side of my for everything, because I want to do a little bit of decoration. Since I've done so well on the outside, I want to do something pretty on the inside. And then I'm going to take our little flower, and I've got our cute little flowers here. And I'm going to put that on my little small block. This is block B. I love this little block. It's great for all these little stamps. And I'm going to do that in the fresh freesia. All right. I think I'm going to go all the way up. And the one thing you also can do is you can take our little, they're kind of like little bitty leaves here, and you can take, I think I'm pretty much done with that. Well, maybe not. You know me, I keep going. I want to keep stamping. I just love this little flower. Look how, I'll watch how this one stamps. It's really cute. So you can almost do like little leaves coming out of it. Or you can do it by itself, but I kind of wanted to add something. Doing that. Kind of fun. Like I said, you don't have to, oops. You don't have to really press a lot on this. I'm going to do here. And do this one. All right. Kind of do a little every. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ink blot and I'm going to go back through and I'm going to stamp this. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And see how you're kind of adding what you've done on the outside onto the inside. Kind of adds a little bit of interest. Kind of a little something, something there. Probably could have done that a little lighter, but that's okay. That's what happens when you're live. Now we're going to put that on the inside of our card. Get that done. Really easy. And then we're going to start putting our stuff together. We're going to put this on the outside. And I'm going to got my leaves still to add because I'm going to add a little bit of interest on my card on the outside. Now that I have that as my background and I have these little leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do these angled a little bit. So it kind of fills up the card, just a little decoration. I already put a little bit of tape, a little ink, and then I can actually, once I get it down, I kind of just did it in the middle, and then that way I can actually just adhere the rest of it around. And then I have the one in the middle, and I think I'll do it this way. Just kind of add a little bit of something in the middle, and then when I do my For Everything, I'm going to get my dimensionals, and that's what I'm going to put on in the middle of it. All right. Let's see. I get to play around with my new system here, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one off so you don't have to keep seeing that. It's hard when you're doing it by yourself to try to remember everything, but hey, I'm getting better. So I have many thanks. I'm going to put that right in the middle. Yeah, I could have added, okay, could have gotten that over just a little bit more, but that's okay. And then I have For Everything, and I add a little bit on the side. And then I have my envelope. So there's you go. There's your envelope and your card. So what does everybody think? But you have your favorite on this one so far? So let's get this out, and I'll do one more show. So we have the one we just made. And then this is another one. I made the same card, but here's the other one I made that was exactly the same. And then this one, I just did the 3 little flowers down the side and a little bit of stamping. So a little bit of difference. So I have that one. And let's see. We have the one here. Oh, Barbara says she loves them all. I have the one with the veining that I did with the Versamark pen, which I think is fun. And this one, I only just cut it down the side instead of doing it all the way around. And this was Sending Hugs. You're amazing, Sending Hugs. This is another thanks. And I did that with the Versamark pad. And then I did this one with the thanks, with the vellum behind it, and the little bit of gold, a little bit of our gold rope that we have that's in our main catalog. And then I did that one on the side here. And that had the envelope that went with it. I know that marbling is fun. I love that blotch stamp. Then we have that more elegant with the gold embossing with the congratulations. And then we have this one I did the coloring on. And again, I used my daubers on this and I colored it all in. And then I just did the thanks and I added some sequins, and then it has the envelope that goes with it also. Then here I did this one and with clear embossing, and I just did it tone on tone. So I used the Bumblebee ink, and then I just used the Versamark, stamped it with Versamark, and then stamped it on the ink pad, and then did the clear embossing powder on it, and it worked perfect. And then I did my Wink of Stella on the thanks. Here I just did a tone on, so I did the Evening Evergreen, and then I did a little stamp off on it also, and I used the sequins on there. Got a sequin that's not supposed to be there. I did You're Amazing. I used the vellum behind that one, and then I did the little inside, and then I did an envelope to match that one too. So there you go, ladies. There is my presentation for our paper pumpkin alternatives for this month. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and you can watch it in replay. And I will be back Monday for my quick and easy cards. And thank you, Maria. I'm glad you got to join us. And like I said, 2 o'clock on Monday, I will be doing a quick and easy card. And it'll be a surprise. I haven't picked out the stamp set yet, but hey, I can do that. Oh, Barbara says, I can't pick one I don't care for. Oh, I can pick one I don't care for, the yellow one. Ah, so you don't like the Bumblebee. The Faye says, love these. Alternatives are beautiful. You did excellent. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Faye. I really appreciate it. Oh, yay. Maria's going to use her kit tonight. So now that she's got inspiration. You know me, Elaine and I don't like to follow the instructions in the kit. I think there's so many other things that you can do with this. It's really use your imagination. You've got so many different items in our catalog that you can use different. You can even like use some of our embellishments that would be a little bit different just to add something. Remember, you can always cut your cards. If you've got a card front, you can cut it, especially with our ones that have an actual color on the back side of it. That way you have 2 card fronts you can use. All you have to do is just put it on a basic piece of cardstock. And you've got all sorts of different things that you can do. So I will look forward to seeing you on Monday at 2 o'clock. Join me then. Have a wonderful weekend, ladies. Bye now.